Hello lovely people, thanks for clicking on this video. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. My name is Unwa Dito and I am a teens coach. Today I'll be introducing to you whom a teenager is. So should you want to know more about teenagers, keep watching till the end. So now a teenager, from definition, a teenager is simply one that falls between the age bracket 13 and 19. Sometimes we could say that they are adolescents, but adolescents are children who are going through puberty, who are undergoing puberty. It is okay to say teenagers could be adolescents, but not exactly. Why? Because puberty starts in girls as early as 8 years and for boys as early as 9 years. And we could not say an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old are teenagers now, can we? And then adolescents also, for some, it could last till as late as 20 years old. Yes, that long. So you cannot imagine, is a 20-year-old a teenager? No. But all the same, a teenager is simply one between the age bracket of 13 and 19. Now, why do we look at teenagers as a rude set of people? Why do we look at them as people that don't think before they take actions? A teenager is not a child, and a teenager is not an adult. Teenagers are yet growing. They are still growing up. So their body is transforming. So there are changes that they are undergoing. The hormonal changes, and then they are now moving from being a child and transitioning to adulthood. So that transition process is the teenage years, and it takes place. There are changes rather that they begin to see physically, emotionally, socially. So there are several changes that their body is undergoing, which they need us to simply guide them through this period. The major difference that makes teenagers behave the way they behave is the development of their brain. The frontal lobe is a part of the brain which is situated in the front part of the brain, like the name implies, is yet developing. And this part of the brain is responsible for cognitive skills such as emotional expression, such as memory, such as language, such as judgment, such as problem solving, such as sexual behaviors. That's why they show several of the outrageous skills, in quotes, that they show. But they are only being teenager. Could they make their frontal lobe develop faster? Is there something they could do? No, there is nothing they can do. God has made them that way. It is our duty to accept them the way they are and help guide them as they go through this journey of formation. Because their frontal lobe is not yet developed, they take high risk, right? They show that they take high risk. You hear that a teenager jumped from a building, and you're like, why did you jump? You say, well, it didn't look high to me. So that's poor judgment, right? Poor judgment. And we just said that it's cognitive skills. Part of it is decision making. So they take high risk. They didn't think it all through, or rather, they thought it all through and yet came to that judgment, came to that decision to just jump. Why? Because they felt it wasn't high enough. Is that not reason enough? From time to time, they do things that are seemingly stupid. But it's our duty now to guide them to make such risky decisions in a safely manner. Then you also find out that they give into peer pressure. They give into peer pressure a lot. And an adult or their parents will be like, why do you keep giving in to your friends' decisions? And you're like, it sounded right at that time. It sounded like the only right thing to do. But now, to you as an adult, guess what? It looks like a stupid decision, right? Because your brain has grown. Your brain knows. So you've outgrown that, but they haven't. So now, see someone who is risky. You now add friends to the mix. He just wants to show off that, yes, I can take this risk. And there is this rewarding, good feeling that you have when you take risk in front of your friends. So you to take some time, think back. How was life with you as a teenager? Did you do some things that were stupid? That now when you think of it, you're like, man, those were the days. Yeah, so they are just being teenagers like you were, right? Lack of concentration is also something that your teenager undergoes. It's difficult for a teenager to concentrate long span. long span rather. So you find out that your teenager is paying attention to everything happening around. Now he's trying to focus on the birds that are chirping, the noise that I can hear outside right now that seems to be spoiling my video. Every single noise, he's paying attention to it. So guess what? His brain is overly busy that at that point, what it is that they are meant to be focusing on, they lose focus. So they cannot concentrate for a very long time. So when you hold conferences, you hold talks, hold speeches, events, and you want your teenager to be there sitting and listening for 2 hours, you've lost your teenager midway, because your teenager will learn some, get distracted some, learn again, get distracted, and that's the way they learn. Then the next thing we'll be looking at is that they are overly emotional. Remember that one of the skills, one of the cognitive skills that the frontal lobe is responsible for is emotional expression. Now, your teenager cannot understand most emotional expressions. Picture this. You show a sign of fear. Do you know what most teenagers, 50% of the teenagers, what they read is anger. So you're like, and then they are reading, he must be angry. Oh, he's angry. So now, for example, a father is disappointed at a child for doing something, and then the father is looking at the child and saying, I'm so disappointed in you. What the teenager is reading is that my father is very angry with me. So he's reading anger, and then he begins to act in a way to respond to that anger. So he either begins to shout to defend himself or something, and then you're wondering, why is my teenager acting this way or behaving this way? But guess what? He just did not understand the emotion that you showed. God bless you, you're a Nigerian child, and your mother is a typical Nigerian woman, and you are somewhere and then she's doing you eye. You know, we have eyes that mean different things. And you're forming, I don't understand that expression you're doing. Mommy, what is that expression you're showing? She will minister life unto you. Yes, you will receive life immediately. So it is either that ministration of life that will let you understand that each time you see me looking at you like this, it means you should take dressing. So you're now wondering, at what point do I read the emotion? So please bear with teenagers. Even when they are in a hall and they are making noise and you're looking at them, they are still yet finishing what they are trying to say to their friends, because they don't get it. Most of them don't get the expression that you put on your face. Then another thing is, it looks as if your teenager, who was once a whiz kid, has suddenly started declining academically, and you're wondering what's going on. Remember, one of the things responsible, the frontal lobe is responsible for, is memory. Okay? So your teenager tends to look as if he is not your whiz kid that was very good at maths. What is suddenly happening now that you're growing older? Are you forgetting your maths? 4 times 4 is what? And then the child is looking at you, he has to count his fingers. I think it's 16. You think you knew your 4 times table just some time ago. What happened? Yes, let me tell you what happens. When a child is growing up, children can learn several languages, and then better still, when you speak it to them often, they could learn it for life. But as the teenager grows up, as the child begins to grow, things that seem not to be relevant to the child, meaning that things that were not put into use, are being forgotten. So if his 4 times table was not being put into use when he was a child, now growing up, he forgets it. So he needs to learn it again. He's not being dumb. His brain is not just fully developed yet. So he is growing to that point. So if there are things you need to remind him often, from time to time, keep reminding your child to put your child on the right lane. So I hope you understand why teenagers behave the way they behave. So instead of scolding them every time, instead of looking at them and wondering, what's wrong with you? Love them, hold them, and show them the right way to go. Keep speaking. Don't stop speaking with them. So now when you see a teenager, don't look at them with that kind of eye you've been looking at them before. I hope now you've been educated to now look at them as human beings that they are. Thank you very much for sticking on to the end. So if you love this video, kindly give this video a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not yet subscribed, and share this video. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.